Final Destination. Bloodlines has to avoid the mistake that has been killing the franchise for years, and it can easily do so. The Final Destination franchise is coming back with its sixth movie, Final Destination Bloodlines, and while there are elements it must have to be part of the saga, it has to avoid the mistake that has been killing the franchise. The trend of reboots and legacy sequels in the horror genre has seen some big successes, like the Scream reboot trilogy, and some failures, like 2022's Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But this hasn't stopped it from continuing and getting stronger. Now joining the trend is the world of Final Destination, which is returning 14 years after the saga's supposed end. What's known about Final Destination Bloodlines is that it will change the saga's formula, following a college student haunted by a recurring nightmare of her family's horrible deaths. Because of this, she returns home to talk to the only person who can prevent the vision from happening, her grandmother, as years ago, she had one of those visions and was able to save many, but death doesn't like to be cheated. The first teaser for Final Destination Bloodlines confirms it will follow the saga style of bizarre and creative deaths, but it also has to avoid a big mistake. Final Destination Bloodlines doesn't need to have a major plot twist. Every Final Destination movie has a plot twist, whether a big one like the one at the end of Final Destination 5 or subtle, like certain details of Death's design and the possible ways it could be cheated. There's also a twist that has become the biggest mystery in the Final Destination franchise, and that's Tony Todd's Bloodworth. This mysterious man has appeared since the first Final Destination movie, and he has delivered some valuable information about death and its plans, as well as how they could possibly be avoided. A twist in Bloodlines would be predictable and could even be underwhelming. Now, Bloodworth is returning in Final Destination Bloodlines, which is expected to solve the mystery of his backstory, but aside from this, Bloodlines doesn't need twists and turns. After 5 movies, a plot twist in a Final Destination movie is expected, but given everything that the previous entries have revealed and established, a twist in Bloodlines would be predictable and could even be underwhelming. It has been so long since a Final Destination movie came out that most fans want a proper film that fits the franchise, not one that will make everything even more confusing with forced plot twists. In a way, Final Destination Bloodlines already has a twist in its premise. The main character isn't randomly getting catastrophic visions, and instead, it seems to be an ability that runs in the family. This changes Death's plans, as it might now be going after this girl and company in retaliation for what her grandmother did by messing with Death's design. Final Destination Bloodlines should honor the franchise's original premise. It shouldn't be hard for Final Destination Bloodlines to avoid plot twists and unnecessary turns, as the basic premise of the franchise already makes it interesting and engaging. The big draw of the Final Destination movies is the creative, bizarre, and over-the-top deaths, as well as how they are set up and how they play out, and that should be the main focus of Final Destination Bloodlines. The first teaser gives hope of Bloodlines taking this part of the franchise seriously, with Eric's, Richard Harmon, death being exactly what one would expect from the Final Destination saga.